I think there's a natural jealousy and dislike that they have had toward Robyn. Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Please hit the subscribe button and give this episode a thumbs up. It appeared that sister wiv star Kody Brown and Meri Brown may be happy together when they first met, but their legal marriage that quickly changed into a spiritual one quickly degenerated into small-minded taunts hurting both parties. It must be stated that Kody seemed crueler than his former spouse, to Kody's credit. Meri ought to have realized what was going on. He kept hinting to her that he was no longer feeling love. She chose not to go nonetheless for personal reasons. Meri created the conditions for genuine grief by continuing to date a man who had emotionally checked out. Kody started to lash out, as if he wanted to force her away. He might have second thoughts about some of the things he said. Some of Meri's most scathing insults and taunts were likely sparked by his regrettable catfishing incident. Meri felt lonely. When she started talking to a lady she looked for a man Meri deprived of love. Because of Robyn Brown discovered what she believed to be superior, but more worse was the individual who deceived her in 2015. Kody was at least who he claimed to be. Kody was still harboring his grudge. As late as 2023, he stated this during a Sister Wives Look Back How We Started episode. I'm furious about Meri's catfishing incident. Kody ought to show Meri some consideration. The only wife he was obviously truly in love with was Robyn. She most likely had a valid cause for seeking a more satisfying relationship. He could, however, love for women in his capacity as the patriarch, but they were unable to pursue relationships with other individuals. That's how polygamy operates, and in certain families that dynamic brings happiness. But in the Brown household, that was not the case for 2 decades. Was Meri truly horrible to Kody? Her now ex made a powerful statement there. According to a People exclusive, Meri disputed that her marriage failed because of her affair with a catfish. But even years later, Kody's anger might be telling a different tale. Perhaps her betrayal was a deal-breaker for him. He likely didn't think of her as his wife. After that, even though he refused to forgive her, he wanted to convey that he was over it. When he called Meri at that time, it's likely that everyone who watched Sister Wives was aware that Kody was no longer in love, but Meri might have told herself something else, holding on to what was known. I started talking to someone online earlier this year who turned out to be someone else during a sensitive and emotional period. Although I regret becoming involved in this issue and have never met this individual, I hope that I will be able to assist others who are in similar situations. Meri's scammer claimed to be a successful businessman named Sam Cooper under the guise of a man in his 40s. The individual deceived Meri. Eventually, it was discovered that Jackie Overton was Meri's romantic interest. Meri, who had been so trusting and had high hopes, was crushed by this, and Kody wouldn't forgive her. Their split was likely caused by a number of factors, but the catfishing episode undoubtedly brought their problems to a breaking point. Perhaps Kody need to apologize for his inability to comprehend and Meri's motivations. He is obviously obsessed with Robyn, as all of his ex-partners were aware. Therefore, she wasn't actually endangering her spiritual bond. The family was bound to fail, and Meri was just being human. Kody appears to be playing the victim when he treats Meri so harshly, suggesting that he is the one who has been wronged. Meri's mean girlfriends were put down by Kody. Their attitudes didn't sit well with him. After a staggering 32 years of marriage, Meri and Kody parted ways in January 2023. Following that, Meri attempted to move on with Amos Andrews. Watch the video above to find out more about their brief romance. Only 4 months passed throughout that romance. She is currently hinting at a fresh romance with Brandon Stone, although she hasn't had luck in love. Luck may, and typically does, change. Meri will feel really strong if she ends her losing trend And I believe she deserves a fulfilling relationship in which she feels truly appreciated and understood. She is entitled to happiness, since she earned it even if her pals didn't get along with Kody. There were a lot of put-downs with him on screen. Kody criticized her mean Mary's admirable friend Jen Sullivan. Actually, Kody used extremely derogatory language when describing Mary's friends. She will have to get rid of those B asterisk 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 if she truly wants love and to find a man, since he won't tolerate that this isn't affection or even love. Meri is capable of better. He claims that because of her pals she is unable to locate a boyfriend. In addition to attacking her, he is demeaning her closest loved ones. It was obvious that Kody didn't value Mary's friends, who undoubtedly had an impact on her relationship. Perhaps sometimes the truth was painful, although he thinks he's being singled out because he loves Robyn. The ex-partners have other perspectives. Their emotions are also legitimate. According to Meri, Jen is more devoted than the majority of her relatives. They collaborate in recording Fridays with Friends portions. They appear to have a solid, happy, and healthy relationship. But Kody perceives danger everywhere, even if he is deserving of some of the criticism. Anyone who would disparage him is excommunicated. Blame yourself if I don't love you, Kody said to Meri. Did this go below the belt? Although Kody is not always negative and his feelings should not be disregarded, he was the one who fell in love with Robyn. He had virtually no emotional flexibility. As a result, his remaining supplies for the other women were limited. It now appears that Robyn received the most of the money. She reportedly owned $70,000 worth of dolls that she bought on Etsy, the $1 million house, and the David E. signet ring that matched Kody's. Janelle mentioned that they didn't have much money, and that Kody withdrew a lot of money from the family fund while she handled the bookkeeping for Janelle. Money seems to be a really sensitive subject that greatly irritates her. She was obviously dissatisfied with her tiny flat during Sister Wiv season 18. Occasionally scenes were set in Robyn and Kody's shared house. It had an elegant kitchen and a spacious living area, an abundance of space for Robyn's core family and others. The ex-partners have valid complaints, and they might occasionally be at fault as well. The dynamics of the family were complicated and things changed once more when Robyn got involved. Whether it was true or not, it felt like Kody and Robyn were icing everyone else out as they drew closer. For instance, they isolated themselves during the epidemic because they were afraid of getting infected. The intriguing thing is that according to his son, Robyn Brown, Kody never bothered to get vaccinated at all. Was Kody's anti-vaxxer stance the reason he was so watchful? There's no evidence, but it adds a fascinating dimension to the pandemic drama by suggesting that despite having the opportunity to get vaccinated, Kody might have made a decision that caused him to become separated from other Browns. Perhaps that was a decision rather than a need. Because of this, it appeared cruel when Kody said to Meri, "Blame yourself if I don't love you." In the dramatic season 19 trailer for him, that all made sense. But people who witnessed Kody cut out the family during the COVID-19 outbreak and show preference for Robyn on stage would have thought differently. Perhaps they believe that Kody should take some of the blame because he abused Meri, who is over polygamy. The writing is on the wall. Kody behaves as if there is no option. Meri grumbled about having to live in a limbo land, mentioning their previous position with Kody on screen. Although they were officially in a spiritual partnership, their relationship was not conventional. He seemed to look down on her a lot. He had forgiven her for the catfishing, and he seemed to be doing everything he could to encourage her to stop dating him. That wasn't a bad thing, really, but sometimes it felt harsh. It's difficult to dispute, though, that by pushing Meri away, he was assisting her. She could never truly be content with someone who doesn't care about her so. Really, Kody might have been acting. Appropriately in this situation, he has discussed how Meri should have realized it was over rather than prolonging it. Saying that the writing victim, he acts to alienate Meri rather than terminating it himself, as if in the hopes that she will go that way, he won't have to be the bad guy. Human relationships may be difficult, so it's possible that Kody would have wanted Meri to leave him, rather than his asking her to do, so he had to be very honest about his feelings. Though because she disregarded his warning signs, the warning signs that spectators could see from space, it became quite core as Meri hung in there. She even became friends with Meri. The two women had an odd bond. Meri appeared to be a little innocent and didn't fully get Robyn. It's probable that Robyn wasn't Meri's best friend, because she was obviously interested in monogamy for a long time, even though she pretended not to by stating that the writing is on the wall. Kody implied that Meri ought to have been aware of what was about to occur. He was blaming her for everything. However, she might have felt uneasy leaving a plural marriage. Because of her religious beliefs, she may have remained in a spiritual relationship for many pragmatic reasons. In addition to religion, she had to consider her job as a reality star. If she left, she might have been concerned about losing her notoriety, therefore it seemed a little condescending to portray Meri as someone who couldn't read his signals. Kody responded, "I don't understand why you did it so fast. You have a guy on the side waiting," he added. Kody blamed Meri, even asking if she was hiding a love interest. Since Kody has always been all about Robyn, it seemed strange to say the least that he would show a flash of jealousy over some love interest, which was probably a figment of his imagination. Meri texted Kody after she finally bailed out, accepting the fact once and for all that the spiritual union was going nowhere. There wasn't really a need for a secret reason for leaving. The situation was bad enough that anyone would want to leave. Meri had reached her breaking point. It was about feeling low on the totem pole, neglected and unloved. Kody became suspicious, which seems strange. Perhaps he was trying to give the impression that she had a secret agenda. Kody attempted to win Meri's separation, but it looks like she won. The desire to win a breakup in the court of public opinion is almost universal, and sometimes when Kody plays the victim, even though his favoritism led to the family's downfall, it seems like a PR move. However, we might not be giving Kody enough credit, as it's possible that he was seriously wounded by Meri's catfishing. Meri glows above starting a whole new life without Kody, and fans are showing her a lot of love. However, when Kody goes low, he doesn't win his breakups. People assume he's okay because he still has a wife in a nice house, so they don't really look beneath the surface. He's used to being viewed as a villain, so as long as his conscience is clear, he should be okay. Perhaps her leaving brought back that pain, making him wonder if she had someone else. He may be happier if he stops blaming Meri and tries to see things from her perspective. But sometimes it feels like everything that has happened in his previous marriages is weighing the sister wives' patriarch down. When he keeps blaming Meri, he's just living in the past. Sister wives, will Christine and Janelle's friendship be impacted by her? Candid Book fans are curious to know if Christine Brown, star of Sister Wives, will put her friendship with Janelle to the test as she prepares to reveal the family secrets in her own tell-all book. The two women worked together for many years and remained close, raising each other's children as if they were their own, even after leaving their polygamous marriage. Christine and Janelle remained co-wives, and fans loved watching the TLC stars bond both on and off screen. Now fans fear that Christine's upcoming book will affect her friendship with Janelle. Are they correct? What are they talking about? Janelle and Christine's sister wives fight to save their friendship. The TLC stars bond grew stronger after their breakup with Kody. But both Christine and Janelle have been busy lately with a lot on their plates. The latter's life has completely changed since Garrison's death over the years. Seen the bond between Christine and Janelle, who always chose each other over Kody. She has been trying to establish a new life away from Flagstaff by spending more time with herself and her kids. Meanwhile, Christine is adjusting to life changes following her marriage to David, Woolley becoming a career-focused individual instead of a full-time housewife. As a result, the TLC star finds it difficult to spend time with her best friend. Will Christine's book launch ruin her friendship with Janelle's sister wives? Supporters believe that Christine and Janelle will disagree after her tell-all book. Aside from being a mother, Christine Brown isn't afraid to try new things. The TLC star proudly works for Plexus Flips Houses with David, shares her cooking recipes, and motivates her followers through her influence her career. It's interesting to note that Christine still found time to write her own book, Tell All, in just a few months. The sister wife star will launch her first book, Sister Wife, a memoir of faith, family, and finding freedom, in which she will likely expose Kody and her co-wives in the book. Christine will talk about polygamy and the out from her 27-year marriage. But fans fear her new book might offend her best friend. Since Christine is no longer scared to speak the truth, there's a chance that her next book will be brutally honest, and she is no longer bound by an NDA to leave out details about the actual events. Janelle might not like her past being brought up in public, and she might feel uneasy going through everything again and answering new questions from her fans. Although Janelle and Christine always seem to be closest friends, fans have noticed a lot of troubles between them. So the latter may not be afraid to talk about them. Fans have not yet learned if the TLC star will talk about her friendship with Janelle. The Brown household has always revolved around family dynamics, which have shaped the relationships between spouses, children, and extended family. As the years have gone by, the family struggles have been publicized, with tensions increasing and long-kept secrets coming to light. One of the Brown children has recently come forward with allegations that throw new light on past events, implying that some relationships within the family were much more complex than they first seemed. In an open discussion, one of the family's adult children raised the possibility that there had previously been abuse between the parents. She was cautious in her remarks, but made it apparent that the subject was not new to those who had grown up in the home. Rather than explicitly confirming or refuting the allegations, her answer suggested that those who had witnessed it firsthand had some understanding of it. Her body language spoke louder than words, as she added, cautiously pressing a finger to the side of her nose, a silent signal that many took as confirmation. But if people are already thinking it, and others are asking about it, then they might not be entirely wrong. There was a discussion online about whether there was any mistreatment, verbal or otherwise, within the marriage. She acknowledged, she said, "I'll leave it at that, because if I answered directly, I could end up getting in trouble," which was the reason. She was reluctant to speak more. Sad recollections that have diminished over time. In the past, there had been discussions about the emotional toll that certain interactions had taken on the children, and during another discussion about the family's past, one sibling acknowledged that although their memory of particular incidents had diminished, the impact of those experiences remained. This was not the first time that someone in the family had made reference to difficult experiences in their upbringing. "I don't recall anything fatal occurring to me personally, but I do remember feeling the weight of words. There was a point when we all felt the pressure, and those moments influenced the way we regarded certain relationships in our family," she said, adding that she could only speak from her own perspective. "When we were young, it was easier to feel powerless," she remembered. "But as we got older, we learned to push back. Eventually, things changed, but the memories remain." She continued by explaining that she and her siblings learned how to emotionally defend themselves, as they told me that they think I carried the brunt of it, she said, adding, "Even though I don't remember everything, clearly I trust them when they say that what we went through had a lasting impact." She said she couldn't remember every detail, but that other family members thought she had gone through some of the worst. A choice to maintain distance. Some of the adult children have been able to establish hard boundaries because time and distance have given them a clear perspective on the past. For example, it was not an easy decision to keep a certain family member at arm's length. She said firmly, "I've decided not to have that person in my life, so they won't be in my children's lives either. I made that decision based on my own upbringing, and it's not something I take lightly." With a home of her own, she is dedicated to making sure her children are raised in a different environment, one based on love, respect, and security. She has accepted a future in which her happiness is not determined by previous disputes. Supporting the allegations, her claims are consistent with those of another sibling who has also spoken out about the past. In a different conversation, he offered his own interpretation of the family's past, implying that things might have been even more dire than first thought. "Words can't even begin to describe what we went through," he said, adding that the conversations eventually stopped being about words, and that what transpired went far beyond anything that could be expressed verbally. As a child, there were moments that felt scary, said another sibling, acknowledging that the past had made an imprint. "I only saw something truly alarming once, but it was enough to stay with me." The subject of these chats has never publicly addressed the many charges, and while conjecture has persisted over the years, no direct statements have been made to address the mounting concerns. Going ahead, in the wake of these revelations, those impacted have taken steps to move forward, making sure that the lessons learned from the past guide them toward a healthier future. After decades of shared history, the relationships within the family have undergone significant changes. Although they were once a cohesive unit, the ties that bound them together have loosened over time. One thing is certain, though: those who once felt helpless now have the strength to define their own pathways. For some, that future entails healing and reconciliation. For others, it entails setting boundaries and keeping a safe distance. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Get more updates daily. See you soon.